What's up, guys? It's Mike with Anything for Clicks. So today we're going to go over to Weedon Island Preserve. It's an island in Pinellas County. It's about 3,000 acres. It used to be home to indigenous people, and they have a really cool cultural center there, and there's forests with mangroves. So I'm going to take you guys along, and we're going to go check it out. So I live in Tampa, and Weedon Island is in Pinellas. So we've got to go over Gandy Bridge, and it's actually the oldest bridge crossing between Tampa and Pinellas. That little peninsula that you see sticking on the left side of Florida, there's 3 crossings on that peninsula, and then Gandy is the oldest. On the one coming west to east is the oldest. They used to be 2-lane roads, and then they dedicated that to a 1-lane road. And if you head coming west to east, you'll ride on the oldest bridge. And they constructed a new bridge to head east to west, so we're gonna pass over that, and I'm gonna get some cool shots. I love this bridge because sometimes, if you're lucky enough, the pelicans, I think they use like the wind from the cars coming, and then they use it like to push them, and then they'll like dive to get fish. I was always wondering why they would fly next to cars, but then I figured it out. They were using the airflow, as kind of like a little booster to fly up and then drop down and then catch fish. So smart pelicans, I don't drive like a sports car or anything, so they're probably not gonna do that to my car. But yeah, here it is, the Gandy Bridge. I'll film it on the way back over because this is like I said, this is the older one, or the newer one. The other one is awesome because there's like portholes or cuts in the barriers, so you could see through, and you could get like a real, and it's closer to the water. This one was obviously built a little bit higher, that way when it floods or the water levels come in, it's less susceptible, and then boats, taller boats with masts and stuff can still get under this section of the bridge. But that's the thing. Weedon Island sits right behind this former Greyhound racetrack called Derby Lane, and this was featured in the movie Imposter with Bryan Cranston, the one about the connection between Tampa and the drug cartels in Colombia in the late 80s, early 90s. So I thought I'd film this because it's super interesting, and we just happen to be passing behind it to go running at Weedon Island. But it's just for reference, right behind the old Derby Lane. Man, this is cool. I'm not gonna lie, this is pretty cool. The reason they filmed here is because obviously not much has changed since the 90s, so just wanted to ride by and get it on video. Wow, that is awesome. Awesome. Even the palm trees, it looks so 80s, 90s, Art Deco. Very cool. It's like a relic, I mean, they still upkeep the outside, but I think they use one little section of it for blackjacks and stuff like that. But yeah, and poker off to the right. But the main, 90% of the building, or 75% of the building is unused. Very, very cool. Now to get to Weedon Island, you come behind Derby Lane. And then what's cool about this area is you could see the former kennels where they used to house the greyhounds, right up here. Let's get past this truck right here. All right, and that's where they used to see, there's the racetrack over there, and then you would pull back here if you had a greyhound, and then the kennels were right back there. It's definitely tucked away. There's not a lot of signage. Like, that's it right there. We're just passing it to show you how to get in there. It's like a little cut back here, and then you'll come up to a gate. Now this gate's only open, I think it opens at sun up, and then sundown it closes. So you can't come out here at night. entrance right here. Yeah, it's very serene. I love coming out here. It's very old Florida. You know, this place, so Weedon Island has a lot of history. It's not just the indigenous people. There is a airfield here that was used prior to World War II as a personal airfield / movie recording studio, and then at the outbreak of the war, it was used for, I believe, training. And then I will correct myself if I'm wrong. But there is a bunch of trails through the mangroves. Now, if you're coming here during summer, you have to bring mosquito repellent. All right, here we are pulling into Weedon Island. Awesome thing about this place is you don't have to pay to park, or you don't have to pay to go in the museum for entry. It is 100% free. So this parking lot is where the airstrip used to be. And then over here to the right, if you look, was the old airport. And then they have it kind of fenced off. We'll take a look at that too. All right. So here is the old airport, and then it was pretty easy to convert the airstrip into the parking because they had already leveled and flattened everything. Yes, this place has got a little bit of modern history and then some older indigenous people history, which is cool. All right, so look at this. This was the entrance with the patio. You could tell right here. And then you would just walk in, and there's the front porch. See, everything's labeled for the airport. The front porch. The waiting room was over there. The stairs for the second story were right there. The powder room / bathroom. Look, you can still see the original pipes right there. And then you can see where the window was. So I'd always come over here and I would wonder what this mountain was, because there'd always be a bunch of gopher tortoises that come in and out of it. And then I figured it was all the construction debris and leftovers from this building, and then they just buried it over here. So let's go check out, you know, when they built this thing, when they tore it down, because there's definitely a sign out there. So yeah, watch out for gopher tortoises. They're protected. The gopher tortoise. Yeah, this is a great place if you just want to get away and, you know, walk. There's not usually, oh, they took the stuff down. They had a bunch of information. A burning question. Why are many of these tree trunks black? The fire that scorched these trees were prescribed burns intentionally set by land managers. Okay, so they burn a bunch of trees to bring the health and vegetation back. Okay, cool. Good work, my pyro friends. Yeah, I come out here just because what I do is kind of noisy, and then especially having 3 kids, it's like chaos all the time. So I come out here. And if you don't see them, it's because when I pull the camera out, they usually end up hiding, or I'm hiding from them. Either or. See, I love the pines here. The smell of the pines. All right, so I don't normally go the normal path. This is the normal path right here. I cut off the path right here, and then there's like a secret trail across the street. Not a lot of people go there. So I'm gonna head over there now. Yeah, I really love this place. It's really beautiful. Look, if you could look behind me, there's a bunch of pine trees, and then if you head that way closer to the water, that's where you get like the mangroves, and it's more swampy, you know. So you definitely, you know, now we're ending summer, so you still have to use like insect repellent and bug spray and stuff like that, but you know, luckily towards like fall and winter time, it's not bad. You know, when they spray around here, and it usually doesn't get that bad. But in the summer, like, you will get eaten up. You'll get eaten alive if you don't bring insect repellent. So yeah, look at this beautiful pine tree right here. Okay, I'm giving my secret spot away. I shouldn't be doing this, but I will. So you go to Weedon Island, you park, you go get on the trail, you pass the airport, you stick to the right, and you'll see like a walk, you know, like a dirt path like this. And then you'll see a paved path. Go to the dirt path. No one does it because it heads to this, it hits this street right here. But what you're gonna do is you're gonna cross the street. See, they didn't think about that, did they? And then I think maybe people just assume that like this area is closed because there's this, but this is just for cars and whatnot. See, it says right here, hikers welcome. All right, I'm not hiking, I'm just walking, but foot traffic, see? So you just go around that, and then there you have it. It's like this, it's about a quarter mile. You know, you go right or left, but you go around this. It's a quarter mile path, and it's basically like a little peninsula. You walk around the entire quarter mile peninsula, and it's amazing. So let's head down this way, walk and talk, scoot and shoot. I'll probably take that last one out, because when I think of scoot and shoot, I'm not thinking about walking around with a camera. I'm thinking about like hunting animals to eat. Yeah, look at this. This is just breathtaking. Like, look at this. And nobody knows about it. Wow. So you'll see a bunch of, you know, like armadillo. If you go by the water, you'll see mullet. I saw an eagle. I'm sorry, an osprey. My daughter corrected me. I said, that's an eagle. She said, no, that's an osprey. I was like, oh, okay. Stay in school, guys. So yeah, I'll come out here when I want to exercise, which is what I would usually be doing right now, but I'm just walking around. I want to check the area out, but I'll run around this little quarter mile circle thing like 4 times. You know, but look at this. You can't get stuff like this anywhere else, you know what I mean? Florida's, it's hot and muggy, and there's a lot of things, there's a lot of wildlife that can kill you, but it's a very unique ecosystem, you know? It's subtropical, only state within the continental United States that's subtropical. So it's like a swampy Hobbiton or a swampy shire. You're in the Lord of the Rings, like I am. It's like exactly how the Shire would be, except there's alligators, and it feels like you just stepped out of the shower all the time. Wow. Pretty amazing. So I'm not at a theme park right now. I wish I was, and it would be Universal, because you guys know, if you haven't seen from all my my videos, that's usually like where me and my family like to spend our time. So I'm making it a thing. You gotta make it southern. So yeah, if you guys are ever in Pinellas and you want to find a secluded place to just, you know, go exercise or go walking or get some serenity and some peace and quiet, you know, this is a great place. Take my advice of where to go. Go to the right of the airport, keep right, go off the path, and then go onto the sandy walking path that's not paved, and then cross the street and you'll see that little barrier. Just go around it because it's for walking, not driving, and then you'll come out here. It's amazing. So let's talk theme parks. Why didn't I go to Disney? That's a good question. First off, I love Disney. I'm not gonna even lie. My sister-in-law works there, and we're like secretly super fans of hers. But we love Disney. But during COVID, Disney didn't love us, so we still had to continue paying our annual passes, and we weren't allowed into the park, so that wasn't cool. So we became, and my kids were getting older, so that's a general rule. You know, if your kids are older, they're probably more interested in Harry Potter and stuff like that, because they're, you know, Minions. I mean, I guess that's little kid stuff. Universal is coming out with a lot of cool stuff. I'm just a bigger fan of Universal, honestly. My kids like it too, but they did Disney a lot when they were younger, and then now we spend more time at Universal. So, you know, that's one of the benefits of living in Florida. You could just, you know, hey, you're gonna take a political stance? I won't go there anymore. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't politics. It was money. You know, I can't pay your annual pass if you're not going to let me go into the parks. And Universal, I do remember, definitely opened before Disney, and they like gave leeway on their annual passes and all that. And I've been going there since I was a little kid. So, excuse me. So I've got there's like a lot of nostalgia there, and you know, even though like not a lot of the original rides remain, there's like one and some shows. I really like it. You know, you could definitely, when you get there, Steven Spielberg is like probably one of the best directors like of all times, and you could definitely feel his movies when you're there, just from like the New York facades, the California facades, all that cool stuff. It's just like it's got that very Hollywood-esque movie set type of feel to it, you know. And it was built, I think it was conceptualized before MGM Studios, which is now Hollywood Studios, Disney's, and they basically essentially took the idea from Universal Studios to make it, because they didn't have the funding at the time, and there was like a bunch of executives who worked for one company that left to another company, and then took those ideas, and that's, you know, they're like, Universal Studios can't have a movie production company here unless we do, and then they did that as well. So that's why there's Hollywood Studios, and then there's Universal Studios, because Universal Studios was conceptualized first. Just remember that. All right, now we're walking up to like my favorite like secluded area in Weedon Island. Just the way it opens up, and there's the pine trees, and you know, if they gave me this island or this peninsula you know, that would be worth, like, I mean, you can't, first off, with the indigenous history, you can't put a price tag on it, but if there was none of that, it would be worth tens, if not close to $100 million. I would put my house right here, and then if you clear just a couple trees, not a lot, just a couple trees, you'll open up and just see the bay, like right over there. So I would put it right over here. Next to this ominously placed telephone pole. I mean, there was obviously something here too. Someone that had an idea just like me. Yeah, this is my favorite spot right here. You know, it's kind of hard to convey it on video. I'm trying to do the best I can, but it's just the smell with the pines, and you know, and there's like, there's really not a lot of, there's no traffic. It's really a unique place. All right, I'm gonna head into the museum now. So I'm not gonna talk for it because it's awkward enough, like holding your arm up in like some type of fascist salute. So I'm just gonna not talk. By the way, that's why I do that, because it gives you the best look of yourself. If you go the other way, look at that. Boobies and a double chin. Little camera lesson right there. All right, here it is. We're gonna head up in there. All right. So this place was actually funded by the Smithsonian. Super interesting story. The guy who got them to fund it planted a bunch of Indian artifacts to try to get him to fund it, and then they found out that he planted it, but when they were here looking at the planted artifacts, actually discovered real artifacts, and then were able to secure the funding to put a museum here. So we're gonna walk up in here. So yeah, it's like a tiny miniature Smithsonian, I'm sorry, I can't pronounce that, in the middle of like the swamps and the mangroves. Look at that. All right, so I am really sorry. I did not film in the museum. And the reason I didn't is because there was a school field trip going on, and there was probably about 80 to 100 kids, and it's kind of a small museum, so I didn't want to film people's children at the museum, so that's why. So, but we're headed back over the bridge now. I will go back there in the future and then film some interior shots, because there's some very cool stuff in there, like it's like a 30-foot canoe. They've got a bunch of pottery artifacts and cool stuff that was found in the Native American burial grounds. So what we're going to do now is we're going to head back over the Gandy Bridge. This is the one that's going west to east. Now this is the original bridge that connects Pinellas and Hillsborough County together. So I'm going to get this on video, and then hopefully we can get some pelicans flying by, because that's cool. Okay, there's a movie, and I'm going to butcher the title, but it's okay. Miss Peregrine Pugh's School for something children, I don't know. I think it's a Tim Burton movie, and in the intro there's a scene where they're driving over this bridge. I think it's, I don't know, 70s, 90s, 80s, I don't know. Older than it is today. In the past, you see this bridge, and then you'll notice these. All right, well, thank you guys for hanging out, and I'm really sorry we didn't get to go into the museum, but I promise you I'll go back in there and get some footage, and we can check out all the cool stuff, and the dude who faked finding the artifacts to bring the Smithsonian out there to fund it, and then actually found some artifacts, but they found his BS. But it's hilarious because now he actually is a part of that history. But I really appreciate you guys hanging out, and then I'll catch you guys in the next one.